All right, so I've been meaning to do something like this and put it out for a long time. My name is Scott Riley. I own Hi Guys Video. I'm gonna give an update on the last 6 months of my personal life and my business because I tell clients that the key to doing social media is volume. So always be putting yourself out there, always be showing your process, always be telling the world this is who I am and this is what I do. So I'm Scott Riley, I create content for businesses. 6 months ago, I left my career in TV news. I was a photojournalist. I was in charge of my department, I guess. So I taught storytelling to a lot of young, new, fresh faces in the industry. And so my wife always kind of wanted to be somewhere that had seasons, and Central Pennsylvania is where I grew up, and so we moved back to where the majority of my family and friends reside. We still own a home in Fort Myers, Florida. I'll get to that. So going back 6 months, we both left our jobs in Fort Myers, and I started a production company, visual storytelling, content creation business. Focuses a lot on social media. I work with a lot of realtors, business owners. While I was doing a few projects down that way, we started transitioning up this way. My wife has reestablished herself in her career, and I am now doing video work for different clients. We're currently occupying our rental property that we owned for a few years up here, while we are under contract for a permanent home in Altoona. How's it been? Well, summer was nice. Summer wasn't so bad, but but pretty quickly in the last 3 weeks, we started feeling the change in temperature. I ran like a 10K 3 weeks ago or something like that, and people were taking their shirts off, and I was like getting sunburned. It was like 70 degrees. It was hot. You're sweating. The sun was beating down hard, 70 degrees. It is now, this week, we were down into the 20s. It went from comfortable and beautiful fall leaves here to what I remember most about living and working in Pennsylvania is the cold, the persistent cold that greets you every time you walk out the door. It creeps in from underneath the doorways. It is at every single window. Where I feel it most is when I gotta go out and walk the dog. We don't have a fenced-in yard, so I have to take Stella out every single day. And yeah, you can see your breath. Pretty quickly after that first snowfall, I went and bought Red Wing boots. When I lived back here and was a photojournalist for WTAJ, would trek around through the mountains and all the snowfall in my Red Wings. So after the first snowfall, I was wearing like a pair of Nikes, trying to clear off all the ice and snow from our cars, and went out that day and bought Red Wing boots. I'm a business owner, that'll be a tax write-off. So what work have I been doing? So most notably, I did a video with Travis DeArmond, who owns Charlie's Tree Service. We grew up together. He was telling me about this project out on Ruskin Drive.
single cut every day. One person under that tree that shouldn't be, someone's not paying attention for 1 second, drops the log on the wrong place, it's all bad. You're done. It's over. One wrong cut that falls and hits someone, they're dead.
You can swing stuff. Okay, hold on.
Like, look at this branch here. That's like a whole tree coming out of that.
One of the biggest tree removals that they've ever done. They partnered with another company to use their crane, and then they hired an additional company to bring in an even larger crane.
Oh, we got a nice sized crane coming in today, buddy. It's the big boy time today. We're gonna be pulling some giant logs up today, buddy.
To remove the big parts of it. So if you're interested in seeing the type of work I do, I'll include a link down below. Just to give you an idea of what I do, my process kind of comes from my journalism background. I'm a big fan of conversations with people, sitting down, doing conversations with whoever's involved in the story. You know, the business owners are out there active, working. For something like that, I approach it the same way I would if I was sent to like a breaking news scene. I have my camera, I have my microphones, I, get video of the action. But I also will mic different characters up during the process, ask them to narrate the action for me, ask them to tell me what's going on. Why do we do certain things? Walk me through this so that somebody that doesn't know what their business does or is more interested in understanding the process.
Attached to that'll come out. The crane can cut all by itself. You don't have to have a person do it.
Can hear from them to kind of get a breakdown of what they're doing. I think a lot of people appreciate that. I mean, I've gotten some good feedback on that story. When they posted it to their social media, it got a few thousand views on Charlie's Tree Service. So link down below if you're interested in seeing what I do. I employed drones and GoPros for the first person perspective. I'm a licensed pilot, have my Part 107. All the great video is awesome to look at, but really when it comes to storytelling, the way I craft a story is by using the voices of the people that matter to the company, whether it's the owner who put the elbow grease into building the business and has put in the long hours to build their dream, or their clients who benefit from them being here.
I've always been so pleased with everything they do, from the initial start to the total cleanup.
And endorse the work that they do. So what else do we got coming up? Putting together a series of videos for Melissa.
One of my best friends recommended Melissa.
Move with Melissa. We met down at Prima Luce in the Fort Myers area. She had just relocated. She still has business in Maryland.
Countdown, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Annapolis, Maryland.
Her business is still in Maryland while she's getting more established in the Fort Myers area. That was only a 3-hour drive for me, and so I went down to Maryland for a couple days and knocked out a bunch of content that we'll put on social media.
It's like we signed the papers and we came to the girls were super happy about it.
Client testimonials, showing off Annapolis. It's a series of videos that reinforce who she is, who her team is, and why they take care of their clients. Right now, as we head into kind of the Thanksgiving and Christmas lull, but I'll be back down in Fort Myers for a wedding, and then I'll also be working on an upcoming project that is a big commitment. It's a big project, but I'm gonna wait until their company actually puts out the announcement about all that sort of stuff, but then I'll do some more content showing off how we're able to put together that long form content. I'll do some more behind the scenes. This is kind of my intro video that I wanted to put out there that says, hey, I'm in central Pennsylvania now, still have some work going down in Southwest Florida. And before I go, since I'm giving a life update, I would be not addressing the elephant in the room if I didn't talk about Hurricane Ian. You know, me and my wife kind of got out of Southwest Florida 8 days before I was working down in Naples 8 days before Hurricane Ian came, and it kind of put a pause on life. I was glued to the local news live stream on my computer for like 2 days building up to it and while it arrived. It's so hard to even think about the place that I called home for 10 years, my wife called home for 10 years. You know, our first date was on Fort Myers Beach. The restaurants that, you know, we did our little bar tour of are completely gone. You know, my child was born, Rhythm was born at Health Park. You saw how crazy that was, and all the flooded cars, you know, are displaced, their homes are destroyed, and then their cars are destroyed as well in the Health Park parking lot. Downtown Fort Myers is where I lived for 4 years. You know, the restaurants in the River District, some of them were underwater. I spent about a week there after the hurricane. I went down, we still own our home in Fort Myers, so I went down after the hurricane to check on our house. It's seriously a miracle. The homes all around me in the surrounding neighborhood, as I walked around, everybody was pulling out carpet, everybody was pulling out water-logged possessions, and there was mountains of it in the street around, or just around my house. But for some reason, the waters did not make it up into our home. Went down there. I had to get a few trees removed, and then I cleaned it up as best we could, and now we're renting it out to somebody that is displaced. You know, their place took some damage, and while it's being fixed, we're able to give them a place to you know, operate out of. So it's still a sad situation. I have so many friends that I follow that have been to the beach. You know, we're over a month away from that event, and the beach is still destroyed, and who knows when it'll be back to recognizable. But all right, guys, I'll do my best to continue to make videos like this that show you my business. I'm gonna give more in-depth specific stuff, but I wanted this to be the introduction video. All right, take care.